in the evening, they made their first landing. De Gerlache, Rakovica, who was the Romanian biologist on board, Dr. Cook and Henry Artovsky, the geologist, went ashore in a small boat for the first time, and Cook writes that the experience itself was overpowering, empowering. The scenery, the life, the clouds, the atmosphere, the water, everything wore an air of mystery. That's how he described it. They made many landings in the area. We're down here. Port Lockroy was not surveyed by this expedition. That would come later from Charcot, but we're at the southern end of the Newmire Channel in Port Lockroy. This Sierra du Fif, this is Bunky Island here. Sierra du Fif is the mountain range that runs north-south on the island. During their first times ashore, they made their first discovery. Rakovica got incredibly excited, and Cook writes about him. He hailed with as much delight as if he had found nuggets of gold. These are actually wingless insects that he discovered. The only insect down here, Belgica, Antarctica. So the biologist was incredibly excited. As the fog lifted, though, in the area of Hughes Bay, de Gerlache became extremely excited because he could see, they were up here just outside of this chart, but he could see a waterway trending southwest, and they could see a waterway to the north, separating Trinity Island here from the mainland. It was not known whether this was part of the mainland or not. So he became excited, and he wrote actually, where would it lead? Into the Pacific, as its initial direction suggested, or to curve round towards into the Weddell Sea and into the Atlantic. He didn't know, so he was desperate to push south, and push south they did. They charted and named lots of the islands around here, and some of the places that we'll visit were first visited and landed on by these men. There's some large islands, Liege Island, Brabant Island, Anvers Island, very, very prominent island named after Belgian provinces. They made their first extended excursion on Brabant Island, and check it out on the bridge where it is. It's Bull's Bay. It was 1 week, and it was the first extended sledge journey in Antarctica, full stop, bar none. Everyone wanted to go, of course. Gerlache chose himself eventually. He chose Amundsen. He chose the doctor, of course, Dr. Cook, Emil Danko, his close friend and scientist, and Henry Artovsky, the geologist. It was extremely challenging. They were pulling overloaded sledges for the first time in Antarctica. They were sort of learning as they went. Emil Danko himself, he crashed into a crevasse, only to be saved by his skis as he went down, caught as the crevasse became narrower, and they hauled him out fairly easily. They eventually become stopped by a much larger crevasse, a much wider crevasse, on their ascent of the island, and they had to turn around, and they made camp on the lower slopes, at which point a warm storm came and melted everything around them and made them all incredibly cold and miserable. And later on, a week later, on February 6th, they were very happy to see the ship return and pick them up. They all wanted to go home. 85 years later, actually, de Gerlache's grandson, who was living in England, returned as part of the British expedition and summited all the islands, the mountains on Brabant Island, so succeeded where his grandfather had sailed. Lecointe, the second in command, during this week ashore, he took the ship south, and he took it all the way down the Gerlache Strait to where it exits into what would be the correct longitude for the Pacific Ocean, about where we are now, actually, a little bit further north. But he also, on his way back, he sailed up the Herrera Channel and named Ile de Cavalier de Cuverville, which is where we are going to land this afternoon. Here's Cuverville here. So that's just an example of some of the islands that they're naming. The Herrera Channel, which we'll sail through, it is bordered by Danko Land on the mainland. This was named after Emil Danko, the Danko Island here as well. He named Wilhelmina Bay after the Queen of Belgium at the time. It's a very, very expansive bay. Again, find these on our chart on the bridge. Definitely implore you to spend some time in the chart room. They eventually came to the Newmire, everyone on board. It was originally named the Rusen Channel by Dalman, but de Gerlache and his men named it the Newmire after George von Newmire, a German who was a significant proponent of Antarctic exploration. This is Carl Augustus Vanke and the island named after him. This is just the northern cape of the Newmire Channel. So this is looking south. We'll be coming obviously from this